holding my mum's hand and always wanting to hold her hand, and I've got lots of photographs of me holding her hand.
Gives you a good representation of like sometimes like your memories are very like it's very changed all the time. It's almost like your own interpretation of like how you actually remember things. Somebody starts to it's like, okay, this is a turn of events. And then we see like the actual headmaster of the school like coming out and then going into a light jog into a sprint towards everyone, and we like just ran off. I think we just had a nice chill time like on the barbecue in town. But it's just like that feeling of just like being free, I think, at the end of the school, even though you're not really
time can't really text editing.
I try to see playing so far in my hair life, but when I see it might be slightly different up there. Me and a bunch of my friends like walked over like the actual atmosphere like coming out and then going into a light jog.
But as I'm talking to you, it's making me cry. It's because, isn't that horrible? I was just upset. Thinking, just remembering people that have gone. I just brought it all back. As I'm talking to you, it's making me cry.
Interpretation of like how you actually remember things. Being able to convey ideas that an 8-year-old girl, it's like it's different.
It's so weird to take those in a can because my mum and dad did.
Yeah, I remember Becky being absolutely fearless of the water and me being really frightened of her going in the water because she mostly swam underneath it.
I sort of remember like the last day of school at Devonport.
Hugging not necessarily just talking, but those looks that you give to another person that you care about.
Yeah, it was a really good day eventually. One of the guys that I really want to actually get hold of a couple of beers, which is kind of a thing when you're 16, isn't it? Really like, okay. This is a turn of events, and then we see like the actual.
Holding my mum's hand and always wanting to hold her hand, and I've got lots of photographs of me holding.
Like sometimes, like it's very you can change the side of your head to somebody else. You don't really understand how they receive anything. Like everybody's grown up.
And hair being brushed.
It sounds quite bad to say.
It's like cold night up there, just
Chat about
so cold.
on your life.
But we were expecting to lose up there.
And it's like building
one goal
sandcastles
lead
on
up
the beach
there,
and stuff.
and then it's about 5 minutes.
But then your
to go
memory gets
toward
mixed
the
up
end.
sometimes
And
because
it's a great score,
Mum and Dad told
fantastic
me
goal with
something.
about 3 minutes to go, which put us 2-0 up. And at that point,
Fearless of the water, and you being really
when I would have been about 16, and that was obviously like a really big day. Leaving when you're like, that's the stuff in the park. It's like, okay, this is a
story I could tell that now. Yeah, I remember Becky really frightened of her going in the water because she mostly swam underneath it. And I remember
but as I've got older,
a lot of times
when I was younger,
making sure that both. And the only thing I remember about it
just like loads of fun to see.
because everyone said it was a fantastic day. I just don't remember much of it.
Mum said I did.
And one of the guys that I really want to actually get hold of a couple of beers, which is kind of a thing when you're 16. Like, really like, okay, drinks for yourself. Well, yeah, I'm a lukewarm. And then somebody starts setting off like fireworks and stuff in the park. It's like, okay, this is a out, and then going into a light jog into. It's just like that feeling of just like.
But as I'm talking to you, it's making me cry.
You wouldn't explain something the same way to like a 6-year-old man as you would to like an 8-year-old girl. It's like
because my mum and dad didn't never have
that would have been so much fun. It's really sort of like an exciting sort of fun.
I just remember my face.
Nobody was really thinking like
smile
at
all the time.
what are they going to do after that?
But I don't.
I'm glad to sort of get out of school, out of what we're doing.
I couldn't tell you.
Obviously all GCSEs and everything.
Not necessarily just talking, but those looks that you give to another person that you care about.
Yeah, it was a really good day actually, but in July. And then somebody started setting off like fireworks and stuff in the park. It's like, okay, this is
climbing trees when I was a little bit older.
But as I'm talking to you, it's making me cry. Holding my mum's hand and always wanting to hold her hand. And I've got lots of photographs of me holding her hand.
gives you a good representation of like sometimes like your memories are very like it can change a lot of the time. It's almost like your own interpretation of like how you actually remember things. Being able to convey ideas that are so clearly formed sort of inside your head to somebody else who don't really understand how they perceive anything. Like everybody's grown up with different stimuli, different like views on the world, different like things that they've brought up through. You don't know how people interpret things, so it's about being able to effectively get that idea into someone's head. And it's not always about doing it in the way that you would necessarily understand the best. It's thinking about the actual person. So you wouldn't explain something the same way to like a 6-year-old man as you would to like an 8-year-old girl. It's like it's different.
It's so weird, potatoes in a can.
because my mum and dad didn't ever
I
have
think that would have been something fun, but
Potatoes
it's
and
not like
candy balls.
like a
Cook your own
massive
potatoes
regret
or
or something. It's not like I couldn't. That's the sort of thing people regret when they're like 83 and they can't really do sports or anything anymore.
Oh yeah, that was stop carrying around. We do it now, isn't it?
Probably my nan. We used to go around and visit her. She was like in a sort of like a warden assisted home because she was like in her 80s, and I always remember brushing her hair, and she had really, really thick hair, and they say that people when they get older their hair goes thin, but hers never did. It was really thick, and I always remember brushing it and really struggling to get the brush through it, but she always loved her hair being brushed.
Because I remember I'd have to walk through.
It sounds quite bad to say, but like
Followed closely
most of
by
like fondest
both
memories would
yourself
just
and
be
Tom being born.
sort of
One where me
times
and
in
Tom
like
went up
either
to
secondary
the
school
semi-final
or
between
like,
Liverpool and Southampton, second leg.
like a bit
At
older.
Anfield in Liverpool, I picked Tom up
Just
in
be like
Worcester.
relaxing
We drove
with
up. It
friends
was a
and just
bitterly
like
cold
having
night
sort
up
of
there.
just
We
chatting
bought
about
from the
nothing.
fan zone a beef burger, gourmet
mean,
burger, which
I
is
think
about
you
12
remember
each,
the important
plastic
things
chips.
ultimately. Like,
And the time
you
we
can't
had
really
it,
remember
about
something that
10
probably
seconds,
didn't
it was
have that
virtually
much
stone cold
bearing
because it
or
was so
significance
cold.
on your life.
But we were expected to lose up there.
And it's
We
like
only took a
building
1-goal
sandcastles
lead
on the
up
beach
there,
and stuff.
and then it's about 5 minutes
But then
to
your
go
memory gets
toward
mixed
the
up
end,
sometimes because
and the great
you think, oh well, how much
Saints
of that do
defended
I
the
actually
match,
remember?
and
How
Saints
much of that
broke
do I
away.
remember? Because
Shane Long
like
scored
mum
a
or dad told
fantastic
me
goal with
something.
about 3 minutes to go, which put us 2-0 up. And at that point, we knew we were going to Wembley. How freezing cold it was, but the atmosphere was fantastic. And when that ball went in, everybody knew that was it. We were going to Wembley. The players, the fans, the management. It was just mass celebration.
We'll be with you shortly.
Biggest things in my life and my children are sort of stories I could tell about them. Yeah, I remember Becky being absolutely fearless of the water and me being really frightened of her going in the water because she mostly swam underneath it. And I remember
But as I've got older,
a lot of
things
times
were
being
when I
worried,
was younger.
making sure that both
Sort of,
my
you remember
kids
things
were
by
safe
looking at
when they were
photographs
little.
and talking to
always
other
watching
people.
them. There's some memories about that.
I sort of remember like the last day of school at Devonport when I would have been about 16, and that was obviously like a really big day leaving in year 11 for
I don't
everybody at
remember
the
any
school.
of it.
It was really sort
It's
of like
just
an
positive
exciting sort of
blur.
fun time.
I just remember my
and
face.
nobody was really
hurting a lot,
thinking
having
like,
to smile
at least I
all the
wasn't,
time.
like, what are they going to do after that? You're just thinking, oh,
But I
God.
don't.
I'm glad to sort of be
couldn't
out of
tell you
school,
what we
out
ate.
of what we were doing.
I couldn't tell you
Obviously all
what
GCSEs
songs
and
we sang
everything.
in church.
And
The
had a
only
really
thing I
relaxed
remember
day,
about it
just like
is
loads
my
of fun,
dad,
seeing loads of people
because
get all
he
these
broke
shirts.
his ankle.
I think
He
back
was
to
having
when I
to
was
wear
really young.
just these brown shoes because he couldn't get his feet into any others, and feeling a bit uncomfortable, but it didn't matter because I'd got him there anyway. But I just wish that I remembered more about the day because everyone said it was a fantastic day and I just don't remember much.
The mum said I do when we got married.
Hugging, kissing, holding somebody that you love. Not necessarily just talking, but those looks that you give to another person that you care about.
But yeah, it was a really good day eventually, but it could have very easily gone sort of the other way, you think. Because it was a really good day, but it could have been a really bad day, I suppose.
Told you the story of playing with cars and they fell down the crack in the ground when it was so hot one summer. I was probably about 5 or 6 at the time.
Me and a bunch of my friends like walked over and we walked like
Going
that
into
really
town.
sort of relaxed atmosphere.
We went to the park
of, like,
beforehand.
And one of the guys that I knew had managed to get hold of a couple of beers, which is kind of a thing when you're 16.
Like, really like let your hair down and let yourself be yourself.
Like, yeah, I'll have a lukewarm Carlsberg or whatever it was, because you don't really have anything else you can drink. So yeah, it's a really hot summer's day. This is like in July. So you're like, yeah, I'll have a beer. And then somebody started setting off like fireworks and stuff in the park. It's like, okay, well, this is a turn of events. And then we see like the actual headmaster of the school like coming out and then going into a light jog, into a sprint towards everyone, and we're just like, it just ran off. And then we just had a nice chill time like on the Barbican in town. But it was just like that feeling of just like being free, I think, at the end of school, even though you're not really, you think you're 6 months, but you're free at least for the summer.
Climbing trees. I was a little bit older.
See, that was nice. That was nice the last time I saw Gary. Because he came, I was down here, he came down the clubs and he called taxis down there. Yeah, what's that? Right here. Yeah, because I probably won't get down the club either. There she goes.
If I see a plane flying overhead, the way I see it might be slightly different than you, the way I'm thinking about it might be slightly different than you, but then also it goes through another layer because over time that might also change.
But as I'm talking to you, it's making me cry. It's because wasn't that horrible? I was just upset. Thinking, just remembering people that have gone. And I just brought it all back.
Thank you. Thanks.
But I think I've told you that story anyway, so.
Yeah, my mum went.
Anyway, John. No.
Just so ready to make me sleep. It's like, okay, hand it in. She's like, you sort of see something, like everybody knows that feeling.
Okay, I'll
Like, sort of like panic and heart drops, and sort of see the panic. Calm the situation down there, because she's sort of like freaking out, and you have to sort of like calm it down and everything, and then wait to hand it in at 12 o'clock, and then by the time we actually handed it in at 12, went to sleep. Within 10 minutes of going to sleep, got a phone call about my job, and I sort of had to, I haven't just woke up. Like, I've actually had to be doing stuff. I'm not just like waking up at 12.